everyone. Welcome back to the Kirkpatrick podcast. It is Vanessa and the ladies of Kirkpatrick Partners. We are so excited to be here together in person in Boca. We are doing a recap of 2025, and then we are setting our intentions and getting all prepped for 2026. Because if you're waiting until January 1st to set your intentions, y'all, we're already behind. And I feel like we're already behind in November, but that's just me. But today's episode is going to be really special. I mean, they all are really special, to be clear. But today I'm actually giving up the host role to Dr. Amy Heaton, and we are going to be pulling back the curtain a little bit on Kirkpatrick, buying a brand, buying a legacy brand, and kind of where it's going to the future. This is probably the most uncomfortable I'm going to be, not being in control. So I now relinquish my tiara to you.
I would love to have a tiara. Okay, where can we start? You know, a few years ago, I met Wendy Kirkpatrick just socially at a dinner. And there was a very short window of time where I was actually considering buying the Kirkpatrick Model, the Kirkpatrick company. And I just didn't have the guts, if I'm going to be honest. And I think we might have been bidding against each other. I did put in a bid. And so I love this kind of story. I love this background because I did do enough due diligence to figure out, like, gosh, what would I do if I was to take over this legacy brand? Mm-hmm. How would I actually build this from what it is with the Kirkpatricks and try to like make it like a larger, scale it up? And I had a lot of government experience, so I thought maybe, but I kind of chickened out. And so I'm really curious, like, what I've watched a lot of it. I guess about a year and a half ago, you and I started to talk. And
after you stalked me.
Yeah, I looked her up to see kind of how things were going, to see like, you know, it seemed like you had a lot of experience in the commercial world. And I wrote, I think, saying like, hey, I do a lot of government work. I've got this background. Is there a way we could partner? Is there a way we could talk? We actually set up a half of an hour to discuss. And I think 4 hours later, we were still talking. Mm-hmm. And so we had these very complementary and different skill sets. So we started to brainstorm and, you know, kind of talk about the problem of not being a Kirkpatrick, but that the model is so out there and it's so known for being the model for evaluation. Mm-hmm. Like, how could we do this? So what have been like the biggest challenges for you in taking on a brand that's a legacy? I know the Kirkpatricks have been really supportive. Mm-hmm. We're in contact. Wendy was just at our last summit. So like kind of how has it been challenging and what have been your resources to support you?
I think what's been most challenging has been like the imposter syndrome. And not having the last name of Kirkpatrick. Mm. And everyone has been super supportive throughout the entire time. But I think there is still always in the back of my mind that like someone, you know, people are probably saying other things behind my back. You know, not everybody can love me, but love me. So that was probably one of like, and it still is to this day, right? Like it's not something I actually have overcome. So that's definitely one of the biggest challenges. The other is knowing like how loved the Kirkpatrick model is, and having, you know, different ideas of like what learning should look like what I think the model needs to be doing, where it even needs to be positioned, was definitely a challenge. And honestly, like if I think about Anchored Training and I think about Kirkpatrick Partners, you know, I founded Anchored. So it was all me from the beginning, and now stepping into another company where I didn't set up the business structure. I didn't set up the business model. I didn't do any of those things. I didn't even set up the logo, the colors, nothing. Right.
Yes.
I inherited employees, and it's like, how do I take that and infuse myself into it? Yeah. And that's why it took me 2 years and a lot of missteps in the beginning to figure out what it means to be a Kirkpatrick without being a Kirkpatrick.
Right.
Yeah. So Jordan, I know you came into the company then. So do you want to talk about your experience and how you've been, you've made a lot of changes, right? So it's evolving and you have ideas, you go into facilitation, you're our number one face to the company. Sometimes you're who people see as you're facilitating these certifications. So what are you seeing in terms of like what people need now that was different from maybe 2 years ago?
That's a good question. I mean, I first want to comment on a little bit of what you were talking about with imposter syndrome too. And it reminds me of, I think Brene Brown talks about like, if you're not in the arena, you can't talk about what it's like to be in the arena, right? Like you're not in it. So I just want to say like, people who aren't in the arena, like they can watch from the stands, right?
That's right. You're so politically correct.
Just saying. But I think in terms of what people need now compared to maybe when I joined 2 years ago, I think, I mean, a lot I think has changed in the world in general. And so I think it's really like, there is even more of a need now than ever to make do with less. And so it's like, how do we truly get down to like brass tacks? What do we need? What is important? How do we prioritize what's essential rather than, I don't know. I feel like sometimes coming in like L&D would feel like things had to have a lot of bells and whistles and like be really impressive. And it's like, actually, you know what? People just want what works. And so how to give them the tools that are simple and help them simplify. I mean, every program I'm like, you're overcomplicating it. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be expensive. Like we don't have to try to prove ourselves with how everything looks so fancy. And it's like, let's just remember what works, because that's all it takes for behavior change is like doing the core simple things well, rather than trying to, I don't know, overcomplicate it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something that I noticed too in like social media, which is where I always pull from, like not just social media, but marketing in general. You know, that's my favorite thing in the entire world. But for a really long time, Instagram had to be curated. Everything had to be perfect. Your grid had to be beautiful. And then TikTok came in, and TikTok was like, people were in front of a plain background, just sharing real tips or doing a little something. And that was enough. And people found value from it. And it made me realize that people actually just really care about authenticity. Like I would say in my TikTok talk, you probably remember this if you've seen it a million times. If someone back in the day used to say to me, hey, we need to do video for this, I'd be like, oh my God, I have to get the perfect camera, the perfect lighting, the actors, the script.
Exactly.
And then TikTok came on the scene and is like, no, you just need like a plain background, really good, valuable information. And that's all people actually want. And so it really does, you know, we do overcomplicate things. People don't care about all of the fancy things. What they care about is it going to help me do my job better?
And make my life easier.
So I want to like kind of shift to leadership style. Okay. And it's been fun to watch you as a leader. You know, I went through it was transformational leadership program. And what I love about transformational leadership is that it's about changing yourself first and not enforcing the same thing that works for you on everyone else, but encouraging space for everyone else to transform. So one of the things I've noticed that I love about your leadership style is that you do one thing extraordinarily well, and it drives everything else, which is listening. The things that I have told you just in passing that you remember that work for me or that don't work for me or that's going on in my life that might affect this, and how you can then create space for me to live and work in balance. Like you remember everything. So I'm bringing this up to embarrass you, number one, but then to ask Tiffany, because Tiffany, how long have you known Vanessa?
Ooh, 9 years?
Yeah,
probably?
Gigi's 9. So
almost a decade.
Not long enough.
You've seen her in different leadership roles. And do you agree, first of all, with my
very much
listening?
So.
And what else would you say, do you think, is what drives her being able to lead Kirkpatrick?
This is the most embarrassing episode of my life.
Yeah.
It's
No
great.
edits.
It's great. And
This
then
is
I'm going
never
to go
gonna
with
be
these
edited.
answers, right? I would say it's her heart.
Yeah.
Like I'm working with her, right? I become like her mama bear. Like I'm the lion. Like don't come for her. I'm protecting her. I will help her keep straight. I will remind her to eat. Like all the little things, because her heart is so huge. And she really thinks of every single person, no matter what section or part of your path, whether you're entering KP to learn or to work here. She puts it all out there for you. And she, like you said, remembers things and will help you grow because she remembers the things and because of her experience. She knows what works and what doesn't. So she'll gear you and guide you in the best ways.
Yeah, I was very surprised to learn too that like while running a company, while raising two beautiful girls, she's also somehow finding time to volunteer and run part of her sorority and all these other things.
And that's her.
It's
Monday
true.
through Friday. Like,
yeah, and I never understood
Makeup,
like where the sorority part fit in. But I really think that that is what drives your ability to like create a space where everyone gets along, where people can be authentic. You and I could not be more different as people. Like truly, I'm a farm girl, you know?
I love it.
Yeah, you will not be finding me on the farm.
Yes.
We left that in Cuba.
You might be in a salon and I'm like out feeding my goats. Like that's how different our lives are. But it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, you communicate well. You're really great at like anticipating what's going to be the next thing that someone's going to need. So can I ask you, what is intentional for you? Is this just part of like who you are as a person versus like what do you actually intentionally set out to be your leadership goals and how are you applying them like intentionally?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
First, remind me, I have a question to ask you about advising.
Okay. Yeah.
Speaking of sorority.
You have a question for me.
I have a question for you to get back to my chapter about yes.
Okay. Got it.
So I'm always working. I think it's natural for me because of how I was raised. So like in the Spanish culture, your family is everything. Yeah. And I mean, you've seen like me with my family and like, you know, we all come from different spaces. We're all in different places in our lives, but like we hold space for each other. And like, just like, you know, Tiffany's a mom bear for me, y'all, I'm the same way for her. Like someone comes, we ride at dawn. Like,
that's right.
You know, I'll ask questions later.
Yeah. That might be the Jersey girl though.
True.
I don't know if that's like you or if that's
sprinkle
your region.
Yeah. And I think to like your question too, it is a little bit about being from Jersey. You know what I mean? The Jersey culture is about loyalty. It's about family. It's about tough skin. Yes. I don't always have that, but I try. And that is really, I think, what drives me as a leader is like, you know, I like to like, we're a family. Like, we're not going to be like one big happy family. Like families are not all complicated. They're complicated. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we leave space for each other. And we do want to help each other grow. And that may or may not be with KP either, right? Like, you know, Sarah was on our team and for her working remotely, she's like, I can't, she's like, I need to be in an office space. I was like, well, I'm not moving to Iowa. So
sorry, sis.
Sorry. Love you so much. You're one of my favorite humans. And she went and she found, a hybrid, right? Yeah. A hybrid job. Because that worked for her. And I was so excited. Like, I know she was probably nervous as hell me. And I was so excited for her because that's what I knew was going to work well for her. And like commend her for being like, I can't do remote work for my mental health, right? Like I need to be out there and see people. And like that even touched me to where I was like, I got to be honest with myself. You know, I've been working from home since 2014, which was fine when I was in Jersey, but like here it's different. And like, I need to be honest about like my mental health. And like, that's why I have like an office and I'm out more and I try to do things. And I'm so excited about getting back on the road is like, because that's where I thrive. So I think bringing a sense of that and knowing that like, not everybody was able to have the same sort of family dynamic that I do. So I feel like it's a way for me to give you a piece of like the Malaras and you guys can experience a little bit of that.
So it's just natural to you. It's not like you're intentionally setting out with leadership goals. It's just who you are.
Never taken a leadership course in my life. I mean, I've developed them.
No,
I've actually taken one.
One of the things I've noticed, and Tiffany, I'll get back to you too, like, is like diffusing conflict. Or like you can say things so directly. And I had a European background where they're also very direct. So I feel like when there's a problem, you're able to just communicate it. And I've lived in the South for over 20 years. So that is not something women do. And so I do think that maybe that's the Jersey thing. You know, I did grow up a little bit in Long Island. So it works because it's like you can say things with heart, but just also they're true.
Yeah.
And so we can argue. And at the end of the day, it's not like over. You still pick up the phone and you're like, okay, now how are we going to resolve this? Is that what you've experienced?
Very much so. That's why I was saying it's a balance between the heart and the tough skin of like Jersey. Because it's so I'm going to give you the tools and the things that you need. And sometimes, like she said, like it's a family, it's not a perfect family, but it's a real family. Because not all the time a family is happy. So there's times that you need to be told certain things and they benefit you. And maybe you don't realize it at the beginning as she's saying it. But as you hear her and you understand, you're like, hold on, this was for my benefit.
Yeah.
And it's great.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like me and my like best friends from high school used to tell each other, like, yo, pull yourself together.
Yeah.
Like, girl.
Like, go comb your hair.
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly. It's for you to comb your hair. Right. Like, girl, pull yourself together because you're acting like a fool.
Yes.
Fix your crown.
Yeah.
It's
fix your crown. Yeah. So we're all princesses or queens or
queens.
Sorry.
A king.
So Jordan, you're about to take on a new leadership role at Kirkpatrick. So as you're going into this role, you're expanding, you're taking on managerial skills. Eventually, hopefully you'll be managing people as well as the community. So what are your goals for leadership for the next year? What are you hoping to grow? What are you most excited about in terms of your own leadership?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I've always said that growth is maybe my number one personal value. Like I've just never, and not from like a achievement standpoint of like, it's not like I've been an achiever, like, oh, I want to win everything, but it's like, I just know that like, I want to squeeze the life out of life, you know, like I want to just make the most of the time I have. And so I think that will come through in my leadership philosophy where it's like, I also need to have the transformative leadership style of like me first, right? Like I got to take care of me so that I can take care of others. I need to make sure I'm looking in the mirror. So, you know what I mean? Like all of those pieces. I think right now what feels like where my spot, I guess, on my growth journey is listening to my intuition.
Yeah.
And I don't think that is always supported or promoted, especially in women, because I don't know, I feel like we're kind of taught to question ourselves or doubt ourselves or listen to other people, right?
But
like get all of these
data
advice
too, right? It's data-driven decision making. It's just a different kind of data.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like I am very intuitive, and if I listen to my gut, it tells me a lot that it's like sensing things that the logical mind can't sense, right? And so I think that will, at least right now, that is what I feel like I'm being called to develop and focus on.
I love it. I'm so excited too, because we're going to work more closely. So I'm going to learn a ton from you. I know. Tiffany, you're also up for some kind of expanding roles. You're going to be working with the community, right? So you're going to be the first person people see when we onboard them into the collective. And so I really firmly believe that belonging and inclusion, they go hands in hand. But this belonging piece comes first. So it's not about like forcing someone to fit in. This is again from Brene Brown, right? Yeah. This is like, it's not about like making people fit into our mold. It's kind of taking Vanessa's thing where she's able to accept everything and everybody as the same, but applying that to the community. So what are you excited about to grow into in terms of this new role? Like, how do you want to entice folks into like being in this network? What are you hoping to see?
So I like to think that the generation and the time that we're at right now, people are just in a sense of belonging. They want to be a part of something.
Something meaningful.
So, exactly. And if it's something meaningful that they can learn and grow from that benefits them personally and in the workplace, like it's a win-win. So I think that just creating that excitement, and maybe, you know, we're going to get people who are starting with like, what's KP? And then there's people who are, you know, certified in gold or something. We're going to have all levels of it, but I want them all to come in really excited and be like, oh, it's like still like mystery. Like what could be in there? What can I gain from it? Just the excitement. As long as I build that intrigue, like mystery of it. Yeah, I think like excitement. I was a cheerleader growing up, so I wanted
me too.
You're
all about inclusion, though.
Correct.
Yes.
And the spirit and the energy and just all the things. So I think it's just, if you leave that, like, you know, their mind wondering, what could it be? What could I gain from it? I'm like, okay, that's how I'm going to reel you in. Come on, guys.
So you're very welcoming, too. Like, there's never been a time that I've gone to you, like, I come to you with all kinds of stupid problems. And you're just immediately, like, your spirit is always jump in, like, you know, because immediately.
I want it to be where, like, there's no stupid question, right? There's room for everyone at the table. Like, we can all become best friends because we can all learn from one another. So, and even if I have to start with silly questions that Some may be thinking they're silly, but some may be actually thinking it themselves that they wanted to ask and they were a little too nervous.
Yes.
If I start those questions, then they'll feel more comfortable.
Yes.
And then it's just like, a snowball effect.
It's great. It's almost like being part of a club, the clubhouse.
Can I turn?
I knew you were going to do this. You're going to flip the mic? What am I
Just for
doing?
like a moment.
A little bit.
Well, I want to know what it's like for you to come in, because like Tiff's been with me since Anchored. Well, and before with like my kids and stuff. Jordan came in, it'll be 2 years, 3 years? 2 years. It'll be,
a little over 2.
It'll be 2 years. And so you are, the newest to the team coming into the fray. I know that is definitely something that's challenging, right? What's it been like for you? I'm like, what can we be doing better?
Doing better. I will think about that one. But I
She'll
gotta be honest.
tell me that one offline.
I'll be honest. Yeah. Honestly, like I did not anticipate this level of authenticity. Like truly the people that you've surrounded yourself with really authentically bring themselves to the table because you allow that. Like again, like my lifestyle is so different from anyone here, and never have I felt less than or like different from. You've never ever had that vibe. And it's that piece of just listening. And the one thing that I have loved coming in is that I've been in a lot of places where there were other genders present, where sometimes you feel like you're fighting to prove that you're an authority in something. And, when I came to you and I said, look, I've been doing this government contracting for like 15 years. I've been in learning development for 20 something years. I do have a doctorate. This is what I know. You listened and you kept asking questions and asking questions. And I feel like that's why we work so well, because when I've been invited into other spaces, I feel as though I'm having to prove myself before someone believes that what I know is actually true. And you just immediately took me as an authority on things that I stated I might know something about. So it just felt like this very welcoming place to come into, where it was like, oh, this is literally the first time in my long career where I've come into a place where when I say, hey, this is the thing that I'm an expert in, let me try this. It's the only place I've ever come into where someone was like, oh, Amy knows this part. Let's work with her. And I think that's why we work, because you take everybody's best and kind of there's an alchemy to putting it together. But it starts with that, like listening to people, taking them seriously and believing them when they say they know a thing. And there's like, there's no room for mansplaining. There's no womansplaining. It's just like, this is just how it is. Right. I don't know why she's taking our picture right now. Am I glowing?
I need to just remember all of this. I mean, other than obviously the podcast episode.
What was the last question? It was about what do I want to improve? What do we need to do better?
What do we need to do better? Me.
Okay, this is an expression that I think I brought to Kirkpatrick Partners. It's called boiling the ocean. And I think that's also something I bring to Kirkpatrick Partners, is that we try to solve all the problems for everybody all at once.
Yeah.
And we've been doing that because we both, I don't know, for people pleasers, for nature, but like when we talk to people on the phone and we take these like business calls, people are saying, hey, we need a tool for this. And we go back and we redesign and we build things. And we've been doing that for a year and a half. And then we got to the point where we're like, okay, we might be drowning now. So let's rein it in. And we did. So about 2 months or 3 months ago, we said, okay, stop.
Yeah.
We've built all the things we need to build. We think we can cover everyone's needs with these things. Amy, go do these things that are in the column and stop boiling the ocean. We are not going to solve like world hunger tomorrow, probably.
I can figure it out.
But if I were left alone without you to pull me back, that might be. So like, I think that's something that I can calm down about. Like, we try to pivot to meet everybody's needs. And now it's the time for like, okay, these are the things that we offer.
Yeah.
We can customize and we can tailor a little bit, but like, we think we've developed a suite of products and services that I don't really have to keep redeveloping. Right. I think that's the piece where I'm going to try to do better, is like realize we have what we're going to do now.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely said we, not you, but that's fine. Answer it that way.
I mean, because I kind of pull you along with me. Like, come on, let's also do this. And.
Yeah. We need the Vanguard outline.
Oh, no. I still owe her things.
Do you want the mic back? Can I keep it?
I mean, I could definitely ask some more questions if you'd like for me to, or do you want to ask?
Well, you can go for a little bit longer.
Oh, I'm given dispensation. Okay. One thing that people come at us with a lot is that they don't know how to do levels 3 and 4. And sometimes as someone who had to go through this doctoral program where it's like, oh my gosh, you have to do a dissertation where you've got to learn how to do like research, qualitative, quantitative, mixed methods, blah. And I look at levels 3 and 4 and it's a lot of really hard stuff. And so I understand why people come. And so I want to pivot to asking you about technology.
My favorite thing in the world.
Yes. So this is one of the things that people ask for all the time. It's like a technology solution. We call it the easy button. They want to hit like one button and be like, show me the level 3, level 4 impact. And we're like, ta-da, we can do that. So we're developing something that we think is going to be able to do that. And because you got a suite of 3 tools that you're building, and I want to understand your vision better for my own purposes, but then for anyone else who's listening on how these 3 tools are going to fit together and really kind of bring the Kirkpatrick model, but also the community. The tools and the resources that they need.
Yeah. So I got really tired of customers coming to me and saying, I was sold this platform and they sold me the platform based on the fact that they could do levels 3 and 4. And I was like, they can't.
Was it a different platform? Not
ours.
Okay. Just
other learning management systems. I mean, all the time.
Okay.
And so, that's one of the challenges I heard a lot about. I also got really tired of people just feeling like, okay, I'm getting the education, but like, I need to know like what to do next. Like, what are the exact questions, like on all of these things. So, I really thought about the Kirkpatrick model. If we think about like the Addie model, right? And like E being at the end, I really was like, really evaluation is like the whole bedrock and it influences so many things. When we talk about designing programs, like you can do evaluation much easier if you bake in the ways to get all of that data, right? You're spending a lot of time on levels like 1 and 2 because you're not doing formative evaluation. So I'm going to waste my resources there. And so I knew that people really wanted the technology. We were in the right space with like AI really exploding at the time. And so I was looking for potentially a platform that I could partner with. And that's how I found Trevato through like online stalking on LinkedIn, and then I slid into Ryan's DMs and I was like, can we meet? And then coincidentally, one of our affiliates also had met with him. And so, we saw a lot of potential in the platform and it was actually really good without having us directly involved at that time. So version 1 was like pretty good. And now we've got more involvement and they were just so open to like taking our feedback and me being like, I want to see this, I want to see this and change that. And you've got to do this and you've got to do that because I know what my customers want. Right. And so when I think about like Trevato, that was like my first step into technology, but I knew it couldn't be the only thing. And I knew that it wasn't going to do everything that I needed it to. And I had always had in the back of my mind, like I'm still anchored training at heart. I'm still an instructional designer. I knew we had an opportunity to take everything AI out there is like, how did you develop your content faster? But none of it was about needs assessments, training outlines, like training plans, and like instructor-led content, or like how can we actually use AI instead, like create like a little chat bot or something like that, right? And I was like, this is missing on the marketplace. And when we think about actually designing programs, designing with behaviors first and all of these things. And I was like, this is missing and I need to develop it. And like, who better than me to develop it? And so that's where Kaddie was born, Kirkpatrick and Addie. Also shout out Mean Girls. Or like on the last.
Kaddie the baddie.
Yeah. At the Training Mad Network.
I am too old to know the reference.
Don't worry. You're here for a few days.
I'm the only Gen Xer here.
We'll play some Meg the Stallion for you.
I don't Megan Stallion, but that's fine.
I do. It's okay.
Okay, that'll be you. I appreciate that. So I knew that like Kaddie needed to be that thing, right? Because it can't just be about creating an e-learning course faster. And we can't just go to ChatGPT. Like these things have to be trained properly to get what you want. And I needed to be the one that provided it. So I'm so excited for Kaddie. I was like looking at her yesterday. I was like, oh, she's so pretty.
So Kaddie is instructional design, right? It helps you with instructional design, but with the levels embedded as you're doing it.
Yeah. So as of right now, you'll be able to create, do a needs assessment, a training plan, create learner personas, create an evaluation plan, plan.
Whoa.
But wait, there's more.
But wait.
Girl.
And then the version 2, you'll be able to create surveys and like all of these things. And then we're working with some partners to actually then embed their tool or like connect our tools together. So as soon as
Kind of like a
Kaddie,
plugin?
kind of,
Okay.
yeah. So once Kaddie creates like the training outline, it will then go and create the content in their platform.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So it doesn't replace, like if they have another favorite tool,
Nope.
it can work with it.
yes,
Awesome.
exactly. And then there's, can I say the name?
I wouldn't. We're patent pending on our name, but it's
Okay.
a level 3 and 4 tool.
It's a level
that's
3 and 4 tool.
so cool. We're so excited.
Well, we call it Pelican.
We do not call it that.
It's a level 3 and 4 tool because there was this thing like, how are we going to certify and stamp truly like, yes, this was like, this had level 3 impact, this had level 4 impact. And Trevato like can help you with some of that, right? And collect the data. But the true understanding of what is the return, whether it's, did we have a return on expectations, return on performance, or a, as you know, love for you to share later, but like contributive ROI, right? Like what is that ROI? What's that return that we're having? And I think that's where like, this is where the suite kind of, like, this is the bow.
Pulls you all the way through all the different levels
Yeah.
with the 3 different pieces. And eventually we do hope to put them onto one platform, I think. But that level 3, 4 tool is mixed methods. So we can do quantitative, and then I brought in my qualitative background. We can do interviewing with technology. We can do all these really cool things that technology is allowing us to do that otherwise we're so cumbersome to do a level 3 or a level 4 impact where you're doing focus groups, interviews, like all of this work. We can now do it. It's not quite an easy button, but I've been so impressed with the impact reports that it feeds out because it gives different reports for different user personas. So if you're an instructional designer, if you're a program director, if you are a large rolled up C-suite or large program director that has like 30 or 40 training programs, you can get a different report based on what your priority is. And these reports, importantly, can help with those crazy budget narrative justifications that our clients often have to write on their own.
Right. Yeah.
It is now giving you this report that says, this is actually the written value. This is a calculated value of what return you're getting for these L&D efforts. And with the way that L&D is now required to justify if they're seated, viewed as a cost center, I think this is really going to help because it really illustrates in these reports, like this is the actual impact.
Yeah.
And it's a lower burden on L&D to have to do that collection. So I think that's what we've been hearing people want.
Yeah. And I think this all feeds into really like the bigger vision for KP, which is, and like I've said it to everyone here, we cannot live only in learning.
Yeah.
We cannot just live in training. We cannot live in like this space where we are not getting that seat at the table. And so we ourselves have to show others, how do you get that seat at the table?
Yeah.
Right. And so that's why, we're out of the evaluation game, right? We're out of the just doing impact. What we're moving into is this enterprise performance intelligence era where we're not talking just about connecting training and connecting learning. We're talking about actual business decisions and rolling that up so like that the C-suite can actually make decisions based on, one of the problems that I see is that everyone's evaluating differently. Everyone has different ways to do it. They're collecting data differently. No one's collecting centrally. And then they just try to put it into Power, like, we'll just put it all into Power BI. No, it doesn't work that way. You need one system. You need to be speaking one language. And I think if we want to be the ones that are sit here and say, because I hear this all the time at the conferences, like I was just at DevLearn, the amount of sessions on measurements, impact, don't be an order taker, get a seat at the table. And it's like, okay, well then let's show them how to do that.
Right.
And
the
that's what we're
storytelling
doing.
piece has been missing for so long. Like you can teach storytelling, but a lot of times the folks that are doing this like collection of data, they have a master's degree or a doctorate in like data science and they're looking for hard numbers, but then they can't look at that data and write the story of why it matters. But we're saying we can now do that with these tools for you. And so you have those narratives and those tools that are there and like ready to go.
But it's also a way to make everything more human, right? Because like now, right? Like now if I can go into Kaddie and do a needs assessment or do a training outline, what I'm actually spending my time on is building that relationship with that stakeholder and better understanding what it is that they need, right? So,
yeah, I was going to say, I think that the best part about when technology is working for you is that you are able to have more time to do the like soft stuff, right? That you're like, oh, I don't have time for this. But influence, I swear, is the number one skill set that a strategic business partner needs to have. And so not only do you need to be able to tell the stories, like you need the relationships. Right. I was just on a coaching call with a customer of ours who works for a very big healthcare company. And she was showing me her evaluation plan and curriculum design for this program. And I was asking her how she collects these like paper forms because she was like, these are our rubrics, you know, these people fill it out. And I was like, okay, we're on the right track. How do you collect those? It literally is paper. She was like, yeah, actually we don't always collect them. And I was like, oh my gosh, no. And I was like, do you know anyone in the IT department? Like, who are you connected to in the IT department that can like help you figure out how to get around this Microsoft Forms issue that you're experiencing, not being able to collect it? And she was like, oh, we actually don't have a connection there. And I'm like, that's your action item. Yeah. That's your action item for this week. Like, go find someone, I don't know, someone in IT.
Because then they have to do data storage too. And that's often the problem is that you have to think through, like, where are you storing this? How are you scrubbing PII? How are you keeping it secure? And nobody can do this job alone. And that's something you're always harping on. It's like, this is everybody's responsibility across the organization. It's not just, you know, people in L&D. You have to be like really spreading accountability out.
Do you know who the first person, when I was like an employee, the first person I would make friends with? IT.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
Always. I mean, besides the fact that like I knew that there was going to be a situation with my computer because it's me.
You probably had a need to immediately.
I mean, that's a good time. Yeah, build a relationship. But you have it in.
Listen, I knew it was going to happen. Build a relationship before you need the relationship. Yes, right. And that's definitely like a misstep, right? Is everyone builds the relationship when they have the need. And then it's like what we were talking about earlier. It becomes kind of salesy, right? And it's like, okay, you only actually are talking to me because you want something, right? Not because you're actually, you're going to like ask me these questions as if you're like, you're genuinely curious. Like you want something. But when you actually just build the relationship, it's amazing how much easier life gets when you build relationships.
Yeah. Well, and I remember in my previous roles, not only was it helpful when I needed something to have partners, but like to even understand how the business operates. Yeah. To be like, okay, how does information in this system get here? What's the workflow? Because then you start to spot things proactively that learning actually might be a solution for, right? And so, I mean, I think it's helpful in so many different ways, but even just fully understanding how your organization operates too is so important.
Okay, so it's 2026. What's today? November 18th. I don't know why I did this. Like, I'm not 40 yet. 5 months, everyone. Is it 5 months? Yeah, I think 5 months. All right. So it's November 18th, 2026.
2025.
No. Next year. Oh, 1 year from today.
Oh.
But I was like,
I was say, wait a minute.
That's her. That's the detail-oriented and Tiffany. Keep on track. You know what I tell people about Tiffany, by the way? Tiffany is the one that like corrals me. And she's like, no, ma'am, you've got to go this way.
You double booked.
Yeah, 100%.
Or triple.
Yes. Triple is probably more accurate. What are we hoping? Like, where do we hoping KP is? What are we hoping that we've experienced? What are we doing? Are we back in Boca? And Rat's Mouth, as you just learned.
You know what?
I like the car was like, is this what Boca Raton? Isn't Raton rat? Isn't Boca mouth?
I think we just need to be in mouth rat, eating old clothes.
We're talking about
ropa vieja. Yeah. Oh man. Oof. You want to get some tonight? Yeah. Maybe that's what we should get. So
who are you asking this
everyone,
to?
Not me.
In a year from now.
I'll go first. In a year from now, I'm envisioning us seeing this clip back and saying, wow, we were thinking too small. It kind of went bigger than what we thought. Right?
I like that too.
Right? Yeah. Like in every aspect, right? I think we're going to see and we're like, here we go. It's almost like when we did it with Anchored in our first goal and we like surpassed it by a lot. I have the biggest feeling that's going to happen again. Yeah. Like the community is going to be bigger. Like everyone's role is just going to grow so significantly that we're like, See, we were right all along. They just needed 4 girls to handle it all.
Ask Amy. Every time I tell her something, she's like, "You're always right. How do you do it?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm Nostradamus. I don't know how it is."
See, it's that intuition.
When you're good, you're good.
When you're good, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's going next?
I'm going to go next just because it's kind of ties into what you're saying. So there's this really great quote by Marianne Williamson. Does everyone know who she is?
Mm-mm.
So she ran for president. She was one of those in that long panel, but I think she's Oprah Winfrey's spiritual advisor.
Oh, wow. I
Right.
love that.
And so I don't really follow her. I don't know a lot about her work, but there's one quote that I actually have up on my wall in my office. I'm going to totally paraphrase it. I'm going to probably get it wrong. But it has the sense of the quote is that our greatest fear is not that we're going to fail, but that we're going to succeed beyond measure.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't hide your own light, because if
Right.
you show your own light, then it shows other people. And so I have that on my wall because it's important to remember that when I'm getting that panic, it's because I feel that we're about to do something that's about to blow up. And I feel that right now. So I feel like I'm kind of scared that it might grow too quickly.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that, we'll lose control of okay, how did we just commit to 14 workshops in a month? How are we actually doing that? Right. So, I don't fear failure. It's a very strange and wonderful place to be in that, on the precipice of fearing success.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think that we've experienced some really great successes in the last year, despite some tremendous changes to our landscape. We get a lot of our business from government, and we have managed to have some really massive wins with relationship building and with the level of places that we've been invited into for talks and things like that. And with piloting our new tool with a really very respected government client.
Yeah.
And so you can tell that everything's just right below the surface. I don't know exactly where we're going to be, but I'm kind of ready to rip the Band-Aid off. Right. And stop feeling that anxiety of here it comes, and just let it wash over me. And we're at the beach, so just kind of
figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We always have, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Jay?
I think for me, I envision this sense of flow where we are in the groove, and it's not, there's this sense of ease. I think I saw something, again, I'm probably going to misquote. I don't even know who said it. It was probably on Instagram. But it was something I want to be a relaxed woman because all I've seen are stressed out, anxious women, right? Because
I like your version a lot better than mine.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know.
changed my answer.
I don't know if that's accurate, right? But I think there's
Copy paste.
there's it's not slowing down in a sense of okay, things aren't happening. It's this sense of peace and relax where things are in flow. Right. We are in the groove. Everything is operating. We're expanding at a rate that feels like our nervous systems can handle it, right? And so I think flow is one of the contenders for my words of the year for 26. We'll see.
Remember, peace was mine this year.
We'll see.
Your next year is supposed to be disrupt.
Mine is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Thank you for
between
reminding
flow
me.
and disruption, I mean, we gotta kind of even it out.
But you can disrupt and still be in flow.
Okay.
Yeah. Flow, it's that state where you're playing to your strengths, right?
Yeah.
Things just, it's not hard work, but it's what comes
Nothing
natural
stressful,
because you're in alignment.
I mean, that's why I adjusted their jobs, right? Is because I was we're not utilizing them to their strengths. And the only way for us to succeed and scale, knowing what was coming, because I needed to put the right people in the right place so that they can work in their zones of genius, or else it wasn't going to go. So I hope, I would love to be back in Boca because I didn't have to travel. So that was nice.
Next time I'm bringing my paddle boards, I gotta scope it out a little.
Yeah. We'll go up to Jupiter. We'll go hang with the paddle boarders. Yeah, we're not far from there. I hope, so I think that we're going to be probably doing this again. And I hope that there's more people here, which means, friends, we're going to need a bigger room next time. And I think that, we're going to be making a very different my entire marketing plan for KP is very different than anybody out there in our arena. No one has done this level of like storytelling that we're going to be doing. And, you know, I think that's what I want people to see, like to the point, like I want to be disrupting, not just learning and like our business, but like disrupting like how we do business, right? How we do marketing. And like, I hope to be less in the business and more like on the business.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I can see that. You have to be. We have to have you out there.
Yeah. I'm the best when I'm out there.
Up and out. I'm down and in.
Yeah.
So then next year we'll all be here and sorry guys, Vanessa's not here. She's currently at the White House or she's somewhere else.
Please. Listen, I wanted to be president, you know, and let me tell you, Legally Blonde, that's my, those are my movies.
Who says it's not in the cards?
I mean,
What, like it's hard?
It depends
right.
on if the White House is still standing, right?
I mean,
or if we're
we just built
reconstructing
it.
the whole
I mean,
thing.
I could just build
Build it
it.
big.
I mean, I don't see a problem with that, you know. There is never anything
Renovations.
too small. Right. I mean, I just put that on my, okay, let me not curse. Let me put that on my vision board. Yeah, no, we'll see. We'll see. But thank you all for coming. Thank you for traveling down here. And thank you all for listening and having a sneak peek behind the scenes of kind of what we've got going on. We're really excited for next year. And just know that this is just the beginning. Catch you all next time.